What's up, guys? We are back for a week one preview, and I brought some friends with me. This one is going to be this is going to be fun. This preview is going to be fun. But so we have two new people that we are going to welcome into the channel. Cool McCain from the Eagles Elite podcast and KeyInDaBuilding from 7200 Seconds podcast. What's up, guys? How you doing?
Oh man, chilling, ready to talk about some whack and cheese. Let's get going.
Whack and cheese. Wait till Whack and Cheese beats you on Sunday. But
Yeah, it's alternate reality.
thanks again for joining us, guys. So let's get some introductions first. Cool, the Eagles Elite podcast. So, what do you introduce yourself to the crew, man? What do you guys do? What do you cover? Who's your teams?
Well, this may take a second, but I'll try to make it as fast as possible. So we did talk about Eagles Elite.
Go for it, man.
That's youtube.com/at Eagles Elite podcast. Wednesday night, 8:30 p.m. EST. We talk all things Philadelphia Eagles. We're in the regular season now, so we're going to be covering all the games, reviewing the previous week's games. We're going to be having some of the divas from the fan base hop on and do some episodes with us. Key will be one of those, just to bring some new flavor to the show. We just cover everything to do with the Eagles. Then on Monday nights, Monarchs of Wrestling, 6:30 p.m. EDT. That's on the Play Caller Sports Talk channel, and that's youtube.com/@realplaycallers or playcallersportstalk.com/live. Tuesday nights, NFL Matchup Madness, same channel. That's at 9 p.m. EDT, and we're highlighting the primetime matchups. Most weeks there. Some weeks we're going to have everyone on, and then we'll have videos actually on the page for all the other games and for the contributors that cover those teams. Thursday I do the Eagles Deep podcast. Friday back on playcallers sportstalk.com/live at 7:30 p.m. Play Caller Sports Talk Show. At 9 p.m. the NFL Gridiron Flex. On Monday mornings, if you're available at 10 a.m., I also have a Play Caller Sports Talk radio show. That's on WDZYFM.com. You can find there the media player. You can listen to it live at 10 a.m. And then finally on Saturday, starting this week tonight, the NFC Beast. You can also find it on either Eagles Elite podcast or on Play Caller Sports Talk, as well as other channels. So that's the things I do. I'm an Eagles fan. I am a Denver Nuggets fan, so really great year for basketball for me. I am a UNC basketball fan. I am a Miami Hurricanes football fan. Those have both been disappointing in the last couple of years, right? I am a LA Kings fan for hockey, so hockey's hockey. I am a Atlanta Dream fan, and I am an Atlanta Braves fan. So Tomahawk chopping on everybody. Hopefully, all the way through. Yes, sir. Hopefully, all the way through the major leagues and actually win this time and not get taken out by somebody like the filthy Phillies again.
So, Key, welcome to the show. Tell the people about yourself.
Well, as y'all can clearly see, y'all got to see my man here in the background where I reside from. And then I got Joel on that side. We're not gonna talk about him in playoffs, but regular season, he's MVP. Playoffs, he's horrible. But anyway, I'm Key, and I'm always in the building. Philadelphia born and raised, so all four Philadelphia teams, as the Sixers, Phillies, Eagles, and those Flyers. More on the Flyers, we rebuilding, but I'm all over the place. You see me everywhere. So 7200 Seconds with my guy, Coach Dante, that's in the chat every Tuesday, 5 p.m. We talk about it all. We have our shenanigans. Cool, got to hop on, Bobby, whenever you can. We always down for company. I'm all over it. But I just don't talk Philly sports. I talk it all. So don't think I'm just limited to just Philadelphia. No, I do it all. So let's get into it. I'm ready.
Let's just give a shout out to the chat real quick. Dante, Sentinel, Greg, A-Bomb. What's up, guys? What's up? Good morning. Hopefully everybody's enjoying their Saturday as we get into this Patriots and Eagles preview. So let's start with the Eagles, man. What do y'all think of your off season? What do you think? Any thoughts on the Eagles off season going into game one? Feel comfortable? What's the deal?
Okay, I'll let you go first.
Man, we got you already know we got one of the best GMs in all of NFL land, and Howard Roseman. Whenever you see his name pop up on your cell phone, get ready because he's coming in hot with something. But our offseason was pretty good. I know we lost a lot of guys on defensive side, but what happens? How we replenished what we missed. Yeah, we lost Devon Hargrave and Kaiser White and TJ Edwards and all those guys. But you know what he done did? We had a hell of a draft again. He went out and got those Georgia Bulldogs at number 7 with Jalen Carter, and again at number 30 with Nolan Smith. So, he brought in some guys and on the secondary side to help out this defense. Howie loves the trenches, and that's where we needed the help at the most. So I like the offseason moves as Howie usually does. I mean, we got Mariota as a number 2, and we all know Mariota is not a starter in this league anymore. So he's a good, capable, serviceable backup. But I love the moves Howie done. He's still making moves. I'm sure he probably got something cooking up his sleeve too. So don't be shocked if something during the season that ain't right and we lacking of, he's gonna call somebody else. But I love the offseason moves that Howard Roseman did. And it can only go up from here. Cool. You can add what I didn't say.
So I love the draft. I think we did really well in the draft. Bringing in, we know who we got in the first round, right? But I love to say it because it just makes me happy. We got Nolan Smith still at the end of the first round. We got Jalen Carter, who really dropped to us because of off the field things, not things involved with his play. He was a little overweight, but had a lot of stress on him. He actually, funny story I've heard recently, he actually reached out to the Eagles organization multiple times and told them he would love to play for them, and he promises that he would be a model player, and if he was to be there for them and they were to pick him, that he would make them very pleased with making that selection, and they definitely did that. Sidney Brown, another guy we brought in the draft, Keely Ringo was still in the 4th round. It's just so many guys, right? Tyler Steen. I mean, I'm even looking at Tanner McKee and saying, man, this guy should be the backup quarterback. So, I mean, we're looking at hitting with a lot of those picks. Eli Ricks, a guy that a surprise to some, but just the way he played throughout his college career shouldn't really be a surprise. He had some tough years due to injuries and different things, but he made the squad. And then Moro Jomo, our 7th round pick, So we got a lot of the guys that we picked in the draft have made the team as backups or as guys that are at least on the 52-man roster, which means we did a really good job in the draft, and those guys projected to be where we thought they would. But when you look at talent-wise, I mean, we know what it is. A lot of the same faces are in the same place, right? You've got, especially offensively, you still got A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, 2 number 1 receivers. Big fall off to me with the guy that's starting in the slot at Quez Watkins. Then you got Zacchaeus as the backup for all 3. Flexibility, a guy that can run all the routes, understands all the concepts, is fast, but also has the ability to swing those hips and run routes well as well. And catches the ball, attacks the ball, high points at some of the things that I feel like Quez needed some work on from last year. Still have Dallas Goedert. We're carrying 4 tight ends. They're all guys who should be able to play and make an impact. The line's still in place. Only changes Cam Jurgens. Instead of being the backup center this year, is going to slide over and be our right guard. Still got that same line, 4-headed running back monster. And defense, lost a lot of pieces, brought in a lot of pieces, reloaded this team. The main 2 questions, if I had questions, would be Brian Johnson and Sean Desai. New systems on offense and defense. I personally think from aggressiveness and play calling, these are going to be upgrades to what we had last year. I think Steichen did a pretty solid job. Could have been better, could have been a little bit more aggressive, open up the offense more. Definitely never was a fan of Jonathan Gannon. I think that my 16-year-old daughter that doesn't even watch football could call as good of a game as he does. Same play all the time, right? Same concepts. So, we definitely should be better there just by getting someone in who has a better idea of how to actually be a coordinator and make things unique.
So the one thing that I did pick up on, at least from an outsider's perspective for Philly, is they did lose a lot on the back end of the defense to free agency. But at the same time, they did fill a lot of those gaps in with the draft. The only thing with the draft is it's unproven. You don't know what guys are going to be. But I will give credit where credit is due. What you guys lost on the back end, you made up with the front seven. That front seven this year is going to be a handful for a lot of teams. So I think that's the trenches, at least in my opinion, the trenches for this game is where it's going to be won and lost. If we can't run the football against you guys, we're going to be in trouble. At least some sort of a run game, even if it's not much, they have to at least they can't abandon it. Because if they're going to put Mac Jones in the pocket, I mean, the Eagles had 70 sacks as a team last year. That's if they're going to abandon the run, I think that's a tremendously bad idea on the Patriots' part. They can't, especially with the offensive line the way it is. Cole Strange is not healthy. That's one of the starters. There's we just let go of another starting lineman because it was a very strange kind of like report. It was an undisclosed injury, and then the next day they reached some sort of a payout agreement with him, basically, to release him. So whatever it was, it wasn't good, and he was put on season-ending IR before he left. So whatever the injury was, it was not good. But for me, the biggest concern for me for the Patriots is their offensive line, and one of you guys' biggest strengths for the Eagles defense is the front seven. So I mean that's going to be a battle that we're going to have to at least manage. I mean, even if we don't win it, we're going to have to manage it because the Eagles are going to put points up. It's a matter of, can the Patriots keep pace with that? There's going to be points scored in this game. There's going to be. Hopefully it's not lopsided and one-sided. Hopefully both teams can put it together. But I want to ask you guys. We'll start with the three biggest strengths going for. We'll go for both sides of the football. We'll start off with the defense. The three biggest strengths that you think the Eagles have against the Pats going into this game for the defensive, and then we'll do the offensive. But defense first. Key, what do you got?
My bad. What was the question?
I want to know the three biggest strengths that the Eagles defense has going into this game against the Pats. How do you think?
Three biggest strengths. Okay, so
strengths for the defense.
On the defense, all right. So definitely it's the front. The front still gonna get pressure on Mac Jones. You still got Fletcher Cox. You still got Reddick. They gonna get to him. Then once we get Carter involved, Carter's gonna be a dog. We still got BG and Brandon Graham. The front is going to get pressured. Now the linebacking core. Okay, I mean it. We still got Nakobe Dean, and I don't know who's going to be on the other side of Nakobe Dean.
Zach Cunningham.
Okay, Malik Cunningham. Okay, so we got Cunningham from the Texans. He played with the Texans. So that the linebacking core is going to be crazy. Now the secondary, we all know what Slay and Bradbury can do. It's the safeties that may be a little concerning. But we still got Blankenship back there, and I believe Eli Ricks and Sidney Brown is going to complement pretty well. So it would have to be the front, the secondary, the front in the secondary, and then the linebacking core is a little bit on the for me. But overall, our defense still should be that top dog. I know we don't got Jonathan Gannon no more. We got Sean Desai, so we got to see how his style and scheme is. I'm not saying blitz every down and every play, but throw some in there. Last year, we didn't see Gannon do none of that. He did nothing. He did no pressure, nothing. I'm not saying we got to blitz every down, but every once in a game, you got to get pressure on these quarterbacks because the number one quarterbacks, he let them have a field day. Every quarterback there was looking like Tom Brady. But then the nobody quarterbacks, we pressuring them. You can't do that. Derek Carr
But
lit us up.
to be honest,
Everybody lit us up. So
the best way to beat this Patriots team might be to blitz the hell out of Mac Jones. At least that's what I think.
oh, and we plan on to. I know we're going to dial up some plays where he's going to get some type of pressure. We can handle Ezekiel Elliott. We already know how to stop the run. We got big Jordan Davis in there as well. So I don't look for Ramon Stevenson and Zeke to have a good field day.
So a little insight on Ramondre. He's got like the stomach flu. So I don't know if he's going to be 100% going into this game, but he's got the stomach flu pretty bad. From what reports are saying. So that could be. So you could actually see an old friend of yours, Ezekiel Elliott, in this game if Ramondre is not feeling good.
At least Zeke don't got his hair no more. He slimmed down, but we know how to shut down Zeke. We played him 2 times a year when he's a Cowboy. So,
but that's what I mean. You guys will see a familiar. You could be seeing a good amount of a running back you're very familiar with. Like Ramondre, you guys, Ramondre is a different animal because you haven't seen, you haven't faced him before. But Zeke, you guys know him real well.
Oh yeah.
What do you got, Cool?
All right. So for me on the defense, the unknown that I think will play in our favor, number one, is Sean Desai. You're the first team that's going to actually see his defensive schemes, his play calling, how he is as a defensive coordinator with the talent that he has in Philadelphia. So I think that's a big strength because you don't have tape. You don't know how to counteract it because it's brand new. So I think that's a big one. I'm going to have to steal one of the keys and, of course, I'm going to say the front four and the depth of the front four, because you look at just the combination of players you got. And I know you probably heard a lot of these names: Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, Jordan Davis, Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, Jalen Carter, Derek Barnett. That's just the front four. Then you go back and you think about Hassan Reddick, Nolan Smith, Patrick Johnson, right, as those linebackers that are going to also attack. Then you look at Nakobe Dean, another unknown, another guy that you kind of like, well, we saw him a little bit last year, but he's done so well for the Eagles that they made him the play caller. They've given him the green dot. So he has to have shown a lot for them to bring him from the bench and make him, yeah. He's had it since training camp. So how well is he going to play? We saw a little bit of him. We didn't get to see too much, but that's because they wanted to save that. And then again, the safety position, Terrell Edmonds, Reed Blankenship. Those are going to be the guys that are going to start there. But Sidney Brown is lurking, and Sidney Brown is going to be in that rotation. He's going to get snaps because you cannot keep a kid this talented on the bench. So I think those are 3 areas for me. Well, actually, I guess I made it 4 by accident. My bad. That I think the Eagles are going to have strengths in going into this game.
So I
got a little excited.
You're good. So for me, for the Patriots attacking when they, the best way to attack the Eagles defense for me, I think is in the middle of the field and try and take advantage of those linebackers. That would be, and I think that front 7 is going to be too good. Like I would say push the football down the field, but I don't know if Mac is going to have time to get that ball, down the field. I mean, and I'm talking, when I say down the field, I don't mean like 8 or no, I mean like 8 or 9 or 10. No, it's like 15 plus, like get the ball into the secondary, on those deep posts and deep corner routes. But I don't know. It's a concern because I think they should try and take advantage of those corners and safeties. But the thing with that is you actually have to have time for those type of plays to develop. And I don't know what kind of time Mac Jones is going to have in the pocket to do that. But for me, the strengths would definitely be just the overall aggressiveness of that D. They're not afraid. You guys have shown that defense is not afraid to blitz every play. They're not afraid to blitz every other play if they need to. So the overall aggressiveness is going to be a problem. They're not going to sit back. The Eagles defense is not going to sit back. They're going to get after it and, punch first instead of being the ones that have to counter punch. They're going to make an impression first. The front front seven would be the next one, and then the last would be the edges. You guys are good on the edge. Philly's defensive tackles are very, very good. They're when they need to seal an edge, or when they need, when they send those edge rushers, it's a problem. It's when they take the leash off of those guys on the edges, it's an issue. So for me, those are the three that I'd be looking at. So offensively, obviously the Eagles are their offensive line has got to be, for me, one of the biggest strengths. They have one of the best offensive lines in the game, at least in my opinion. The guys up front for them do a phenomenal job of making sure Jalen Hurts has the time that he needs to do what he does. And the next would be you guys' receiving core. But when you compare them, when you compare Eagles to Patriots, obviously that's a no contest. You guys have the far better receivers.
I don't even know who y'all receivers are. I'm just being real. I don't know.
I know one of them is Kendrick Bourne, and I think they got Juju, don't they?
With the Kendrick,
I forgot Juju.
Kendrick Bourne, Juju, and Tyquan Thornton, I think, are going to be the three that start. I think that's going to be the starting three. But it's just, obviously, you guys have the stronger receiving core. It's for us to stay in this game, we have to slow. We don't have to stop them, but we have to at least slow Jalen Hurts down to a point where the Patriots offense can go score, try to go score for score. Like we have got to win. If the Patriots win the time of possession battle, they have a shot. They have a shot at it. But I don't know. The Eagles they bring a lot to the table. What do you got though, cool, for offensive side?
So because of our dynamic playmakers, I'm not as concerned with time of possession. Because we could be out, you can have the ball an extra 10 minutes and still lose this game if we're getting big chunk plays and big electric plays, which is what I'm hoping for. Come out and kind of make a statement. But for me, Jalen Hurts is a strength. When I look at Jalen Hurts versus his counterpart, every box I'm checking Jalen Hurts. Of course, the offensive line, I couldn't even sit here and talk about the Eagles in any aspect of offense and not talk about that stalwart and great offensive line, one of the best, if not the best in the NFL. I think for me, we know the wide receiver core, but for me, it's the running back room. DeAndre Swift, Kenneth Gainwell, Rashad Penny, and Boston Scott. And the reason I say that is you have so many different styles. You got DeAndre Swift, who is a bigger version of like a player Kenneth Gainwell, we want Kenneth Gainwell to be, right? He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He can absorb hits. If he can stay healthy, he's going to be a really good player for us. Health has always been a concern with Swift since he's been in the NFL, but that's why you have three other backs. So if he does go down, you still have other guys that can step in and kind of be a three-headed monster to handle that role. Kenneth Gainwell's versatile back, gotten better the years he's been in the league, very fast. Straight line speed is amazing. He can run side to side. He does a lot of the same things, again, that Swift does, but in a smaller package. Then Rashad Penny, physical, big. He's going to hit the hole. You need a few yards, so you don't want to have to run the sneak or have Jalen Hurts put himself in a position where he can get hit. You've got a guy like Rashad Penny, and then Boston Scott, small, fast, but he's like a little mini bowling ball. He hits the holes. He can get up under sometimes the plays and sneak out a few yards. He's great in the red zone as well. So a lot of versatility there. And then, of course, if we're going to talk running, we got to add Jalen Hurts in on that piece too, because that that quarterback sneak is like unstoppable. And I'm so glad the NFL didn't try to ban it, because that would have been very disconcerting. So those are, my three things. There's plenty more, but you said three, and I'm sticking to three this time.
All right. Key.
I again, you can't say nothing about this offensive line. It's one of the top elites in football. That's why the running game you can run so well. Um, with the Eagles, again, you got the dual threat and Jalen Hurts. You don't know if he's going to run. If he can't find anybody downfield, he's going to try to extend the play with his feet, and just be on lookout because he can take off at any time. Again, the offensive line from down to center. When Jason Kelsey's one of the best ones in this game. I don't care what y'all say. It's Jason Kelsey, Dennis Creed, Humphreys. I don't care what nobody say. But anyway, then again, you got the receiving core. AJ Brown on one side, Devontae Smith, and we got a top 5 tight end in Dallas Goedert. So nothing wrong there. Running backs, may not say it's been an issue, but it's going to be a running back by committee this year because we don't have no set number 1. So we got Kenneth Gainwell, UC exploded last year on the scene in the playoff. That's why Miles Sanders got less carries. Then we bring in Rashard Penny. I know Eagles fans, including myself, was like, Howie, this is a head scratcher. Why are we signing Rashard Penny? I get it. When he's healthy, he can burn anybody that he faces. Then that's the thing, is injury prone. But when he's on, he's on. DeAndre Swift is another guy. Brought the Philly kid back home. So he's playing for his hometown crowd, which would be great. But he got to do that next week in Minnesota because he'll be back home.
I always thought the Eagles. I always thought the Lions underutilized Swift. Like, I think you guys are going to be able to get his full potential out of him. I think he's going to be an underratedly good addition for you guys this year.
Agreed.
Yep.
But let's talk this. Let's do this for a second. So, how would you guys attack the Patriots? How would you guys attack the Pats? Cool, I'll start with you. How would you attack the Pats?
Offensively or defensively, or just both?
Both. How would you guys attack the Patriots on both sides of the football?
Okay. So offensively, exploitation matchups, you guys are going to have to make a decision. Am I going to try to take AJ Brown away, or am I going to try to take Devontae Smith away? You don't have the personnel. Nobody really does to take both guys away. You guys are more concerned with trying to take Devontae Smith away, which may actually be a good idea, and kind of figure out a zone or something for AJ Brown. I think whichever guy that you don't take away, we have to look at that person, but we also have to be willing to spread the ball around, which means, if Dallas Goedert's in the game, would say Albert O, because I would butcher that last name, who's a big guy, more of a receiving tight end. Then, looking for all the targets. If Quez Watkins is in the game, making sure that we're using him to draw guys down the field so that we have more throws to make. And then RPO all day, right? So if Hurts has got to play, he makes the run. If he doesn't, he makes the pass. But even when he doesn't see the play initially, guys putting themselves in positions to be able to catch the ball and if it turns into a situation where he needs an outlet. So I think just being aggressive, taking what your guys are giving us and forcing you to change what you want to do to fit what we're doing to you is the way to attack you offensively. Of course, use Hurts' legs in certain situations and just take whatever's there. If it's the big shot down the field, take it. If it's the 5-yard play, take it and see what we can make out of it. Pound you with the running game. We've got enough backs to stay fresh. So if one guy's getting worn down, a little bit, he's running more, bring in another fresh guy, keep rotating and just keep attacking you. Make you start to give us big plays and wear you down before we get to the fourth quarter. So the fourth quarter, we can just eat. And then defensively, attack. And that's not always a blitz. That's sometimes just the front four and then Reddick or Nolan Smith. But always bring pressure. Make your quarterback, make Wack and Cheese always concerned about what's coming after it. Make him always attempting to make the throw faster, maybe not going through the progressions because he doesn't feel he has as much time, and just having him rattled and having him a little bit off from what he wants to do. As far as coverage, we want to make sure that we're giving support to the linebackers because it's obviously the area that everyone's going to attempt to attack us in this year. So making sure we're getting a safety to kind of slide in and help with the linebacker play. as well as making sure that we can cover guys. So less of the, we're going to play 5 yards off and just let you have whatever, and then try to make a play. And hopefully we can get a turnover, and actually having different defensive schemes to match what you're showing us and what you've been able to do. And then something we haven't done in 2 years, adapt. So when you show us that this is what you want to do, adapt to that, adapt the personnel, adapt the play calling. We do those things, I think we have a very strong chance of winning this game and getting points out of every play. So if we get down, we get the 4th down, and we're in field goal range, just take the 3.
So I already told you guys how I would attack the Eagles, at least defensive. If I'm, from like a defensive standpoint, I would test those corners and safeties. I would absolutely test those corners and safeties. I would try and push the foot. As long as the Patriots' offensive line is holding up, I would try and push the football, and I would try and test them. The double-edged sword of that is that front end of that defense is very, very good, and you need time, like, to throw the football 18, 20 yards. That takes what, 2.5 seconds, 2.75, somewhere around there. You know what I mean? To get that ball down the field like that, to let those receivers, to let that play develop. 2.7, 2 3/4 seconds is a lot. You know what I mean? Like that 3 second mark is like, you got to let plays like that develop, those deep plays down the field. You have to let those develop. And I don't have a lot of faith that in this O-line, at least with the situation that it's in right now. I can't see it. Can't see, like, I hope they can get that pressure that they need to let those plays develop. But that is absolutely 100% on when I went for the defensively for the Eagles, how I would attack them. And then for the Pats defense, attacking the Eagles offensively, you have got to get some sort of disruption when it comes to the rhythm of Jalen Hurts. If they let him sit back there and get into a rhythm, it's curtains. They have got to get some. They have got to get some kind of pressure. They have got to push. Make it as hard as they can on him. In any way they can. They have to do something. And there's just a lot of question marks for the Pat. Like, this off season for us has been an off season of question marks for the Patriots. So it's like, did they pick some good? Did they have some good picks? Yeah, the Christian Gonzalez pick I thought was a really good pick. It's just we don't know what he's going to be. We don't know if that's going to work out or not. I hope it does. I hope he he plays really well. But that's how I would go after you guys, and I would take advantage of that aggressive nature for the defense. They're gonna probably. It wouldn't surprise me if you see 1 or 2 trick plays that they pull out in this game.
Okay. One thing about the Patriots, their defense was always elite. No matter what year it was, the Super Bowl years y'all had, y'all defense was always elite. It was usually on the offensive side that wasn't. Brady made the receivers we never heard of great. Chris Hogan, Julian Edelman, and Danny Amendola, those guys, Brady made relevant. So defensive wise, y'all always had a stout defense. The McCourty twins, whether it was Rodney Harrelson, even though he got burnt on the helmet play, Teddy Bruschi, Junior Seau, those guys, y'all always had an elite defense. So I'm not gonna hold y'all to y'all defense. So y'all defense has always been top. Y'all was top. I think y'all was number 2 in takeaways last year with 30. So of course I'm not gonna be easy on y'all defense at all, because I know y'all gonna bring it on the defensive side. So it's just offensively for y'all is it's gonna be what y'all can do. But I think we can again expose, get to Mac Jones and everything else on that offense, on the defense side for us. Now off the defense, offensively for us. Now we got to see how we go up against that New England defense. So not saying I'm worried about it, but I know y'all have a good defense. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. Y'all defense has always been great. So that's what we're looking into. Can this offense go up against y'all defense?
Yeah, no, the Patriots have built their reputation on just that that bend don't break defense. They'll let you go from 25 to 25, but as soon as you get close to the red zone, that's when they crank it down. But it's just, I mean, we've all seen the NFL's, it's evolving. It's way more offensively. It's the offensive talent in the league now is just it's amazing. Some of these young kids, some of these receivers are like the talent that they have is incredible. It's definitely like leaning towards a heavy, offense heavy league for sure. But let's wind it down here and see what your final thoughts and some score predictions for the game are going to be. Key, we will start it with you.
It's not going to be a blowout. It's going to be closer than what people think it will be. I'm going to say 24-17.
Cool. What do you think?
I'm going to say 28-16.
And I'm taking in favor of the Eagles.
Yes, sir. Definitely. I also think that
what I want to see out of my team, if they don't win this game, I want to see at least some fight. I don't want to see them get blown out 34-10. Eagles are a good team from top to bottom. They're a good team. So if my team loses this game, I at least want to see them fight. Like, I want to see, if they lose, I want to see 27-20, 28-21. Something like, I want to see some fight. Because talent-wise, the Eagles are the far superior talented team. They are, from top to bottom. They're the better talented team. But I will say this: I want to get you guys' opinion before we give some final thoughts and some score predict, or just some final thoughts before the game, before we take off here. The pressure is all on you guys. Nobody's expecting us to win this game. No one. And nationally as well. The local media here don't see a win either. But all the pressure is on you guys. So don't mess it up.
Well, here's my counter argument to that.
We're playing with how, like this game, the Pats are playing with house money.
Well, here's my counter argument to that. No one's expecting us to go back to where we were last year, right? Because the year after you go to the Super Bowl and lose, you don't go back to the playoffs. You're nowhere near as good of a team. So while you as a Patriots fan may feel like the pressure is on us, I don't feel like there's really any pressure, because people say, oh, the Eagles are going to dominate, hoping that we don't, so that the week after, they can give it to the Eagles for not being the team that they've tried to blow us up to be all off season. See, as an Eagles fan, I believe a lot of times the media, because of how well we did last year out of nowhere to them, right? Because they didn't believe in us. We were winning games. We were 5-0, 6-0. And they're like, oh, this is the week. This is the team that's going to beat the Eagles. This is the team to prove against. This is the team. This is the team. This is the team. That happened all the way up until we lost, right? We get to the playoffs. The Eagles, they had a good regular season, but they didn't have a strong schedule. So this is the team. This is the team. This is the team, right? So we get to the Super Bowl. We lose. The Eagles weren't able to finish it. Then all off season, Eagles fans, we all talked about, hey, we're going to get back where we were last year. But the media as a whole, the year after you win, you're not that good, but we do expect the Eagles to be the best team in the NFC. But out the other side of their mouth, you're never as good as you were. If you lose the Super Bowl, you don't normally get back. There's only been I think 3 teams in the modern era that have done that have, lost the Super Bowl and got back to it. Only one team has won. So the thing is, history says we're not going to be as good. So while as a Patriots fan and while as what you're hearing from the media, you may feel like, oh, you're playing with house money. We're playing with house money. We got a new offensive coordinator. We got a new defensive coordinator. Oh, it may take some time for the Eagles to gel. Not surprised if they lose week 1 because they have all these pieces. So I feel like us too are playing with house money because people don't expect us to be that good, especially week 1 with 2 new coordinators. Now, I expect us to be that good, because I feel like, hey, they're coming in. They've had an offseason to place their things in place. But when you look around the league, historically, guys who have new coordinators on one or both sides of the ball, those new coordinators sometimes struggle early because they have to get the players in game situations, understanding everything. And now we don't really do preseason with the starters. So they've seen it, they practiced it, they've done it in practice, but they haven't actually done it all together in game speed yet. So I think that would be what people are anticipating. And that's why I have the score as close as I do, is because I feel like it may take us some time for everything to gel, but the talent's there. The Eagles should win this game, but if they don't, the media will butcher them. And here's the thing. If you take a team that's already being doubted, they lose a game that you think that most people think they shouldn't lose, and then you just pound them for a whole week, all you're doing is making more and more bulletin board material for them to use. And you give a team with a personality like Philadelphia, the city that they're in, the fans that they have, more and more bulletin board material to use, it's not going to be good for the league as a whole. But we should win this game, so there shouldn't even be an issue.
Of course, we clearly going to show us week 1 because nothing goes perfect week 1. We're going to see some mistakes, we're going to see some blunders, we're going to see some chemistry issues, but that's expected. It's week 1. Matter of fact, I was listening to Philly radio yesterday, and one of the questions posed was, if the defense looks sloppy, but we still get a win, what will the fans and the media go crazy over? Would you still be like, oh, we lost pieces, or I'm going to be like, it's the first game. I'm not tripping over the first game, whether we win or lose. It's the first damn game. Like, that's with anything. Football, basketball, hockey, it don't matter. It's the first game. I'm not expecting y'all to go perfect, free football. That's not going to happen. Will we have a lot of penalties? Will it be flags? Will it be mistakes? Of course. That's with anything. Yeah. But if the defense don't look great, but we still get a win, okay, that's fixable. You look at the tape next week and see what you got to fix. I know it's going to be a short week for us because we got to play primetime against Kirk Cousins on next week. So it is going to be a short week. So you look at the film, you move forward. What can we fix and don't do it again? That's point blank simple. So there's going to be mistakes week 1, but again, we're going to win this game, and I got it at least by one score. So.
Yeah, that house money take was an interesting take, because I honestly I had completely forgotten that you guys had lost both of your coordinators. That completely slipped I completely forgot about that. That's true. You are starting with new offensive and defensive coordinators, aren't you?
Yep.
But not so much. Brian Johnson, he knows the offense. He knows Jalen Hurts because he was the quarterback's coach 1, and he's went through Jalen Hurts back in the Alabama days. He's helped Dak Prescott to be how Dak Prescott is with Mississippi State. So he's familiar with Jalen Hurts. But now, he's calling the whole offense. What he was doing in the offseason was he was going into the offensive line room to get acclimated with them, to seeing what they're seeing. So I think that's a good thing, because you don't see too many OCs going and sitting with the offensive line room. So we'll definitely see what Brian Johnson what he can call up. We already know how he is with Jalen Hurts. They got that chemistry. It's another thing. Jalen Hurts is coming back into the same coaching regime. It's not nothing changed. So only thing changed was Shane Steichen, and Jonathan Gannon is gone. He already knows Brian Johnson, what he's about. So you still got Nick Sirianni there as a coach. All the coaches are still there. He's not coming into anything new. So that's always a plus.
Yeah, no, definitely. But this should be an interesting game.
We're not going to talk about him knowing Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We can't mention Jonathan Gannon ass in Dak.
You mean Whack Prescott?
Yeah, we won't want to associate him. Yeah, we don't want to associate him with a Whack Prescott. We don't want to do that.
Whack Prescott, right?
We want to say good things. Yeah, we only want to say good things about our OC. We don't want to, that's not his fault. I'm only kidding, guys, somewhat.
No, but this should definitely be an interesting game. I think that the either way, like if we lose, but like if you guys lose, your media is going to do the exact same thing that our media is going to do. Mac
Cool.
and cheese. That ain't right.
No,
That
see, it don't say mac, it says whack and cheese.
Whack and cheese. That ain't right. That's not right. But
Did we lose you?
Bobby went to the multiverse.
It happens, man. It happens. Just don't come back as a dark version of yourself, Bobby, and we'll be good.
there we go. Did we lose the feed? All right, we're back. We're back. We lost the feed. All right, cool. But that's like your media is going to do the exact same thing as our media is going to do. If we lose this game, they're you know how they are. You know. The media,
Boston media. You think Philly's bad? I know Boston is bad.
Right, Philadelphia,
Boston.
Philadelphia. There's just certain markets that their standards are high. Standards are high. Boston, Philly, New York, LA, like those are media markets where if you don't perform, you're gonna hear it.
That's true.
But once again, guys, thanks a lot for coming on the show. Much appreciated. Good luck.
I'm sure maybe we'll see you later on, but I don't know about the Patriots. I don't have them winning that division, but just hopefully y'all can compete. At least y'all got Matt Patricia. Unfortunately, we got him, but yeah.
But he's in a much lower position where he belongs.
Yeah, he's an advisor. He don't touch nothing. Nothing.
He just advises.
Right. To me, that's a nothing position. That's a nothing position. Like that's like a yeah, we'll take a flyer on you. You could stay on the team for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I don't even think you guys did. You have to even pay him. I don't think he even had to. I think he's still.
I don't know what an advisor gets, but I mean, just saying, if you get this,
but I mean, like he might still be on the Patriot contract. He might still be on the Patriot contract, and you might have just picked him up for nothing. You might not even had to pay him. I'm not sure on his Pat's contract right now.
No, but him and Slay can get along, but they cordial now, so.
Yeah. Slay would have had to sign off for him to come. Slay's more important than an advisor.
True. Yeah, but Slay was cool with it. He said, we're adults. That was in the past. Like I said, he's cordial, so he's fine with it. They came to him and said they came to him first about it, so that was a good thing.
Yeah. Yep. No, definitely. I did read that when you guys did pick him up, they went and talked to him.
But we learned about that from watching Aaron Rodgers, right? You don't just go do things and not talk to players that star players that may be affected by it, right? So thank you, Aaron Rodgers, for teaching us all that lesson.
You done messed up, Ron.
And then we also learned that you don't demand trades yourself, or you let your agent do it through the NBA. So thank you for that, Damian Lillard and your agent. Right, a lot of lessons we learned from watching other people that we didn't have to be part of ourselves. So great job to you guys, and thanks for making the world better for the rest of us.
But this should be an interesting game. I think it's going to be a good one. As like I said, as long as if the Pats can go toe to toe, if they can manage to at least put some kind of points up, with you guys, it's going to be interesting. I have a feeling it's going to start slow. I don't think the
Yeah, I think
scoring's
so.
going to start. I think it's going to start slow. I don't think we're going to see a lot of scoring in the first quarter at all. I think end of the second, the fireworks are going to start going off.
Well, don't forget, based on last year, the second quarter is our murder quarter, so that's when you want to be concerned with the Eagles.
Yeah. But see, that's almost strategic though. Sirianni kind of takes the reins and pulls them back a little bit. You know what I mean? It's very like Belichickian. You know, like
Yeah,
Bill
I honestly
kind of
think you're giving Sirianni too much credit, but I'll take it.
no, but you know what I mean? Like Bill pulls the reins back a lot. He's more like, all right, let's kind of get a feel for what these guys are trying to do in the first half, and then they'll make their adjustments. And because one thing I thought you guys did really well last year was make second half adjustments.
On offense.
That's what I'm saying. On the offensive side of the football, I think you guys did.
Never did.
No. Offensively, you guys made good offensive adjustments, and were able to put points on the board. But to be honest, though, did you really need to touch that defense? Did you really need to kind of, you know what I mean? Like the D was good last year, at least for you guys.
To win a Super Bowl, yes. To make the playoffs and be, a team that maybe makes it back to the Super Bowl, makes the NFC Championship game, probably not. But to beat the best teams out west in the AFC, yes, we did.
But thanks again, guys, for coming on the show. Much appreciated. That's the Week 1 preview we got for y'all. Patriots and Eagles 4:25 kickoff tomorrow.
Oh, and by the way, quick piece of information. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. EDT, and Key, you're welcome if you want to be part of it. Pre-game show, Eagles Elite Podcast. We're going to be doing the pre-game.
Nice. I will be I'll be out on a boat fishing.
Nice.
Bobby about to get some money with that fish.
Absolutely. We are. We're making money tomorrow, and then I'm gonna watch my Patriots whoop the Eagles' ass. So I'm gonna win twice.
Yeah, alternate dimension. He's talking about alternate dimension. He's in the bizarro world where that means you lose. When you say you're gonna whoop the other team, that's where he's at. Just in case y'all are wondering what's going on with
your
him.
team. No,
I feel the same, sir. Cheating sales.
I'm looking forward to a good game. I think it's going to be better than what people think. I do.
I hope not.
This is a prove it year for Mac too. This is a Mac Jones prove it year. If he goes out and plays well against the Eagles, it's a good way to start the year off. You know what I mean? So let's say he goes out and throws 3 picks. That's not going to be good for him. Like this is his prove it year. He's he don't play well this year, and I guarantee you they are going to dive back into the QB market.
I mean, y'all already cut Sam Howell. Y'all might want to bring him back.
It's QB's the biggest difference between us. Last point before we leave. Jalen Hurts is a field general, leads on the field, right?
Mm-hmm.
Knows how to lead a group of men. Mac is at least right now is a far cry. He's a far cry from that. Like he's got to prove that he can lead an offense and lead. Like Hurts stepped onto a football field and took that team, and he's the leader of that team. Like it's as the quarterback, that's what you need to do. You need to do that. People, the offense looks to you as the general on the field. You're a coach on the field. Jalen Hurts was able to do that really good last year. Mac Jones was not. And when Jalen Hurts did handle adversity, he handled it a lot better than Mac did. So it's like this is a big year for the Patriots, but Mac in general. He doesn't play well this year. I think he's not going to have a job. But this should be an interesting one, guys. Thanks again for the company. Eagles and Patriots 4:25 tomorrow. Should be a good one. Once again, the Eagles Elite Podcast, Cool McCain and Key in the Building from the 7200 Seconds Podcast. Good luck tomorrow, guys.
Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's go.
Hashtag
Football
the
is
elite.
back. Football is back.
Oh yeah.
Thanks again, guys. We appreciate all of y'all watching, all of you listening, the comments. We appreciate y'all. We're out of here. Football's back. Go Pats. And we are out.